back to the class, everyone. We are currently in the final match of the first week, and as you can see, we have not been doing too well. I think we've been playing well, but there's for reasons we've lost the first two rounds. We're actually, I don't like this. We're getting really close to actually dropping out of Kyber 1, so things really need to change for us. So that being said, let's go ahead and see what it's going to take to be able to win this first match. And to do that, we need to pull up our opponent's roster here. So here's our opponent's roster. We are up against Juancito. I think that's how it's pronounced. Probably not. And we're actually, we have a pretty good advantage on him overall. He does have us beat in GP and relic levels. He has 100 relic levels that we don't. Not quite sure where they are, but we have him beat pretty bad in mods. We have over 150 plus 15s, which is a metric that matters quite a lot. We also have a handful more Omicrons than he does. He does have the really important ones. He has Darth Malgus, he has Starkiller, he has Wampa, Qui-Gon, Iden. Ours, I'm not sure if ours are really that much of an advantage there, but we do have the advantage in mods. He has the advantage in relics, and he does have Galactic Legend Ray. However, big however, we have already started farming tickets for Ray, so maybe we'll have it for next week. I need to map things out for what it's going to look like on as far as ticket goes. But so we've done that, and then the actual matchup, this is different. So we've been getting a lot of these really hardcore defense guys. This guy is not that guy. He seems to be very laid back, very easygoing when it comes to GAC, and just kind of takes everything for offense and hopes that he can win in efficiency. So his defensive board is not that heavy. He's got this interesting little Mon Mothma team. I don't think this is going to stop my Iden. It might, just because Biggs is in there and there's other characters that do things that I don't really understand. And then I'm not sure we're going to use against this either. I'm not sure how fast it is. I'm guessing it's not too fast. Maybe we end up using our Mon Mothma against that, depending on how fast it is. This is going to be an easy bad batch. It's really weird seeing Grievous on defense. In fact, it's very strange. Then he's got his CLS. The Datacron on there is, it's okay, but I think Qui-Gon will be able to take it because we can give him Cam. And then up top, we do have to face Malgus. I do believe we're going to have to do this without a Galactic Legend. We only took one on offense. I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I think we're probably going to have to try maybe CLS versus this. I think if we can get down Bastila Shan Fallen immediately, maybe we have a chance. And then the rest of this is the dash team. It's kind of whatever. We could probably Wampa that. Not sure what we do here. We'll figure that stuff out. Those lesser teams are a little bit easy to handle once you know you don't have to 2 or 3 shot the big stuff. My defense is very heavy. We put down Malgus. I want to see, this guy kind of came across me as the person who would burn a Galactic Legend on Malgus no matter what. So we left Malik out of there, and we actually put Malik with C up top. And then we have our super fast Maul, our standard SLKR, standard gas, and like I said, yeah, we went. This might be the heaviest defense I've ever set. We put C with Malik up here. We put our standard Starkiller team there. BAM and JTR, really nothing special. Ships is pretty much what it standardly is. It's our Executor, Negotiator, and Empire. And then back wall, we've got, Phasma doing things, as well as our pretty normal JMK and Lord Vader Sans Maul team. So pretty hard defense. He does have a pretty light defense, but I think we should be able to full clear him. And I don't think he full clears us, but let's go ahead and find out. And here they come now. So we're going to start off with what is probably what is easiest, so that we can just kind of get the ball rolling. And that's Bad Batch versus Grievous. Fight is wildly straightforward. There are a few ways to do it, and I've actually been doing this new way, where on the turn where Echo gets to ignore taunt, just going right after Grievous and not having to worry about his bonus turns, because we can actually kill him first. I don't know if that's the way that CG intended it to be when they allowed Echo to ignore that turn, but if you can call in Hunter right there, you can usually kill him. I've been doing it a ton in TW. I haven't been seeing Grievous a lot in GEC recently, but we used it here, and I mean, it goes completely fine. So really good win there. Was very happy with that. And then we come in and we use our Qui-Gon Jinn versus CLS. They don't really play things correctly, as they typically don't. Jedi Anakin does get stunned, though. That is not ideal for us. So Cam actually gets the first turn, gets the armor shred, and we do okay here. We're able to steal the buffs from Chewbacca. They do have a really good Datacron. They have the repost. I don't believe they have the one where CLS constantly assists, but this is dirty. So we have offense up. We're ticked off. Qui-Gon Jinn just died. We have foresight. Cam is present. Just one shot the entire team. Pretty broken. Really cool to see. I enjoyed it a lot. This one was annoying. So we've taken our Iden versus the Mon Mothma team, and it's annoying because they have Biggs there, and Biggs, if you're fully relicked, this team just kind of slaughters them. Biggs feeds you a bunch of turn meter, but unfortunately, when you're doing things under gear like we are, it presents a timeout risk, because what ends up happening is Biggs gets, 100 turns or whatever, and every single time he gets that turn, he's also healing the entire team via Mon Mothma when she's getting called in, and it becomes really hard to. It's just really annoying. You constantly hit Biggs because you're countering with Stormtrooper or whatever tank he's hitting, and you try to daze him, and then sometimes the daze doesn't land on the first one, so he counters. Mon Mothma cleanses him. The whole thing is just really annoying. The one upside is with Stormtrooper here, they just kind of keep pulling themselves back, because when Biggs goes and he calls everyone to assist, they get stuck doing that. So it's worked out pretty well for the most part. Yeah, so we end up getting them down eventually. Like, Biggs just keeps on holding on there, but like I said, we have enough offense here, and the team actually has a bunch of stacking offense, which is very, very helpful. I don't even think that's in the Omicron. So we get Biggs down here. That is fantastic. Don't have to deal with him anymore, at least assuming he doesn't revive. And now we take that chance to also kill their Kyle Katarn with death marks. So even if Mon Mothma gets to a revive, Biggs can come back, but Kyle Katarn can't, which is exactly what happens here. And by this point, things are quite a bit more under control. We don't have to worry about Kyle Katarn just one-shotting someone, and we've also built up a pretty significant amount of damage now. So getting Biggs back down again and, killing the rest of the team won't be that hard. We end up getting death mark on him anyways, so the whole thing is just kind of irrelevant, and he goes down, and the whole team goes down. Speaking of Mothma, we're going to now use them against this team in right here, and they have Dan Bob Bobo, whose lead isn't that great, and the Zam honestly isn't that fast either. So we do pretty well here. My Kyle Katarn goes way before. We do not have a Datacron. We don't have like 25% or anything like that. We started with the basic just because that'll give more turn meter to PAL, so in case Hot Rebel Scout decides not to give anyone turn meter, it doesn't matter. We go ahead and switch to Zam now, just because I know that we'll kill IG on an AoE or something, or just like that. So we're able to come back around here, and we're able to just keep on linking kills back and forth, to the point where we just get a really big one-shot. Kyle Katarn just takes out Dengar, so we don't have to worry about losing banners. Stripped all the turn meter and just destroy the team. Sorry, Dad Bobo, but you don't get to do much. Now we get to take Wampa versus Dash. Battle is pretty darn simple. We've done this a lot. They do not have the Datacron, which does make this easier. So as long as we kill L3 when Dash is, or not Dash, but when Vader isn't prepared, the team goes down very easily. Upside here as well is that we were smart enough to be able to save the cleanse for when Dash uses daze. When Dash uses daze, it's not how he typically does it. I've said this before, I don't really know why the priority is switched. Some characters just won't ever use AoEs at all against single targets, but for whatever reason, Dash will do it, but he'll only do it on the second turn, which I don't know the reason for that, but it's how he works. And then, yeah, like I said, we killed L3 when Vandor didn't have, I was going to say protection up, but that's not the right word, prepared. And then now we're starting to split our teams and starting to do some kind of dumb stuff. So there's this Hux team here, and I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure that Hoda will go first, and he'll clear, but I forgot my Hoda and my Shaak actually have the same speed. So Shaak went first, and that kind of messed things up because counter and gain advantage, but we do eventually get it off of him. And now, I mean, we're able to take over control of the fight pretty darn easily. We actually put Master Strain on Shaak, just because I'm a little more afraid of her dying than I am Jedi Luke. Things are going really well here. We've already killed, the two biggest threats being Hux and Lobster, so the both of them are out of the way. I guess we'll just go for Phasma now. I mean, I think Kylo's probably just ends up killing himself here for the most part. He hits Giant Luke, which is really cool for us. We're able to take him down. I probably should have put speed up on myself so we get back to the heal faster. Also, should have definitely just given the heal to Hoda. I don't know why I just went for that. I should have given the heal to Hoda. That would have enabled us to use those two heals back to back, and actually would have finished with full banners there. We're taking Grievous versus Starkiller. This is a personal favorite of mine. It's always works never the same. It's always different. The last time they killed our B1 right out the gate, which was weird. This time we land no target locks, which is new. That doesn't really always happen. But B2 didn't get the Shaak, so he is able to get turns. He's able to kind of get out there, help us gain some turn meter to catch up. He then dies, and this is starting to look pretty bad. You know, 2 of our characters are stunned. What's-his-face is dead. We didn't really have any target locks. I'm like, all right, let's just get rid of Visas, because if I can guarantee that this is a 4-man next time, then Starkiller loses a bunch of his abilities. So we take out Visas quite easily. Grievous gets to go kind of ham. Luckily, Magna and Nute don't die at the same turn, so we get the bonus turns in the right order. We get Starkiller down. We end up being able to one-shot him because Visa isn't here. Now he's gone permanently. So we go ahead and take out Nute, and then we win. Like, it's never the same, man. Like, I'm not complaining, but it's weird. This is dumb. Don't do this. So like, my entire strategy for the most part was okay. I should have flipped 1 or 2 things. Never ever do this. At least with 3PO. 3PO is so bad against Malgus teams. His expose, because of how much they regenerate with debuffs, doesn't even break even. He's legitimately healing the other team more than he's doing damage. So I forgot that, essentially. Like, I didn't have that mechanic in my head. So we don't kill Bastachon falling off the rip. Even though, like, this Malgus team is actually a bad Malgus team. There's no Talon. They're pretty low relic levels. The Malgus didn't have full 6E. They don't have all the Omicron. So this is supposed to be like a mediocre Malgus team. And as you can see, we're just getting pummeled. Luckily, 3PO dies, so he stops healing, you know, the entire team, and we're actually able to get rid of Bastachon Fallen. But, I mean, I didn't expect this to one-shot, but I really wanted to kill both Darth Revan and Bastachon Fallen so that Traya could clean up like we did in the last battle. That's not going to happen. What I should have done, had I been smart, is I should have used Qui-Gon Jinn here again. That would have been much more likely to wipe out Bastachon as well as Darth Revan. And then I could have just used CLS Mirror. I didn't have to use Qui-Gon Jinn over there. And unfortunately, I don't even know if I want to show this whole battle, but yeah, I think we might try to skip a little bit down. It does not go super well. And I mean, what's happening is happening the entire time. And the root issue here is that Darth Revan is still alive. If this was just Marauder, Malgus, and Malik, we would be able to control it a lot better. In fact, this is verbatim the fight that we did in our last round. We were able to control enough, but having 1 extra fear, you know, cooldown increase on the team really put us behind and didn't allow us to be able to do things. Also, opening up Malik got to put Shaak and dispel the buff from the brute, so that didn't help. So then Darth Revan got to not just fear 2 characters, he got to fear all of them. So yeah, like I said, this ends up going a little bit down to the wire here, and then this is how it ends, and this is really gross. My Nihilus was just about to annihilate, and they stunned him. And now that Traya is dead, we can't use it. So we almost at least got Malgus out. But again, with Darth Revan being there, just wasn't in the cards. And now that we have to use this super weird team, like I can't use full Jedi because I don't have enough Jedi above R5 to keep my Datacron. And at the same time, if I go in with just the 3, Malgus probably just eats me. So we brought in this team, and the whole thing is really weird because, long story short, Malgus does really well against Jedi Master Luke. He does really well. And we have Watt here to not only help us taunt, but also to cleanse. And I think that is really important because without that, we actually can't gain protection back because we're going to always be stuck with doubt. So he helps a little bit with that. And Boba gets a execute on Marauder, doesn't kill him, but gets him close. And we're just kind of trying to make do with what we can here. And ultimately what happens is I misplay again in regards to them healing from debuffs. And I put techs. I should not have done this. I should have just put tech on Jedi Master Luke for the taunt. I should not have put any tech on GMY or Jolie, because what ends up happening, you'll see here in a minute, is that once everyone has a tech on them, this means that every single time we use a special against Malgus, Watt is going to apply dots and heal him, and we will never be able to kill him. Yeah, so big misplay here. Shouldn't have taken Boba either. I was thinking that he might get a clutch kill on Darth Revan with the execute, but he also is just full of debuffs. So yeah, there's 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. I tried to do a few things. I tried to just basic. I tried to use specials. I tried to call only Jolie in to assist. But at the end of the day, Malgus' recovery, even at R4, is just kind of stupid. So yeah, like fast forwarding through the battle, we end up timing out on the whole thing. Didn't really enjoy that. Wasn't a lot to learn. Then I'm like, all right, let's just take in bounty hunters. Let's get this over with. Let's get to ships. I know he leaves bad ships. I'm taking Mando. We can just annihilate him. And Fennec had other plans. Fennec just decided, no, we don't need to do that. We're going to put an armor shred on him, and I'm just going to kick him in the face, and he's going to die. And that's pretty much what happens here. Get a lot of really clutch hits in on him. And then Zam gets the kill shot, which, you know, cool. So that was fun. Now I'm seriously running low on teams. This is not good. We burned like 3 or 4 real teams on that. So I'm like, okay, so we need to try to get a little bit creative with the rest of the stuff. And we placed a really heavy defense. So what we're doing now is we threw in a burner versus the Shaak Trooper team. They are 500 speed after turn meter. So there's no way I'm going to be able to outspeed them. So let's get rid of the days. Let's get rid of Shaak's free turn to someone. And then let's try Troopers. And this was honestly really risky. If they would have gone straight after and stunned Piet, probably wouldn't have gone anywhere. If they would have gone and just killed Veers, we probably wouldn't have gone anywhere. But they split the hits in a way that worked really well for us. And we were able to daze Shaak right out the gate, which is really nice because she gains a ton of turn meter in this lineup. And we're able to kill her. So realistically, even if we fail now, the cleanup is going to be really easy. That was a misplay. Should have ripped the taunt off of Wrecker, because now we have no way to do that, so we essentially have to kill him. And Wrecker's pretty tanky. He's pretty darn tanky, even outside of the Bad Batch lineup, so it does take some a little bit of encouragement from Dark, but he goes down, and then once Wrecker's down, nothing else really matters. So we go ahead and use Veers there. That was very nice. And now we need to get creative. So I know this isn't gonna one-shot, but I'm pretty sure this can probably kill Qui-Gon. So we're able to land the ability block on Jedi Anakin. That was pretty cool. We get stuck behind Mace, which is annoying. And then, surprisingly enough, Jedi Anakin doesn't one-shot my Gear 12 Vandor. So that was cool. But they have Foresight back, so this is not ideal. I don't love this. But I'm like, all right, let's just basic, let's clear it, and then hopefully we get someone else in who can do it. And we just barely, taunt isn't up. We have 1 assist left, and pretty much in the last move we get to take, we're able to take down Qui-Gon Jinn, which means the cleanup is significantly easier. Now I have to use, this is what's left of my Jedi, which is not good. Most of these characters are like Gear 11. So my mission here is just to kind of kill Nihilus. I don't want to go right after Traya. The way that Talon works really kind of negates everything that we want to do. And honestly, so they're under-geared, but Ezra, Plo Koon, and Barriss, they're not bad. They have pretty good functions. Just being against a fully relic team is not super great for them. So we end up having enough damage to pull out Nihilus, which is good. So we're trying to get creative. We're trying to take down these teams with multi-shots. If I can kill some key characters each time, we can get the team down. So that's pretty much what happens here. And I mean, I would love to kill Talon, but it just doesn't seem to be in the cards. We don't land the buff immunity, which is annoying. We would have gotten a few more hits on Talon, but yeah, once they one-shot Giant Revan out of there wasn't a lot we could do because Sion's super tanky, and every single time we hit Traya, the whole team gets turn meter, and then they blow us apart. We got Nihilus. We did something. We got somewhere, and now the cleanup is really fun. Actually, it was pretty cool. So we bring in Resistance Finn with armor, which is really fun. So now we need to get to Talon, so because once we get Talon out, we can go after Traya. But before we do that, we just go ahead and hit Dooku. I don't want to hit Sion because I don't want to get pain and then be stuck behind him, and I also don't want to hit Traya because I don't want to give the whole team turn meter. So we just basic Traya here, try to conserve our big hits or our multi hits, and we're just gonna make sure that Finn is gonna taunt here. We're gonna take this slow. We're gonna try to get Talon out of her whatchamacallit. We do put 3 stacks of Beskar onto Scav Ray. Scav Ray can't, if you give her the shot, she will hit really stinking hard. And that's pretty much what we're going after. Talon is now exposed, and we get stuck behind Pain, which I didn't want to do. Or not Pain, actually, that was just a normal taunt. And this team, so granted they don't have Nihilus to, one-shot us or whatever, but this team has a decent amount of survivability. And then, now that we have Beskar on Rey, we're able to actually one-shot, or more or less one-shot, Sion with what's-her-face. And Talon just keeps doing things and going back into stealth. And I'm like, okay, maybe we just need to bite the bullet here and just trigger the savior on what's her face and go. But we do get access to Talon again, and now we're able to call in Scav Ray, and then Scav just takes her to town, man. Does some really good work. We now have 3 more stacks of Beskar we can throw onto our Resistance Trooper, and from here it's pretty much game. They can't do anything. Dooku is not going to win this match here, fortunately. We are able to daze him, but he gets it off. The armor shreds on him, and then being able... We essentially have a mass assist now with the amount of Beskar that we have on the field on our 2 attackers. So the next time Armor gets around to her call to assist, Dooku just goes down. So, weird counter, but I'll take it. We have to use Night Sisters to clean up the Jedi now, and this is actually why I'm a pretty big, and you guys can let me know in the chat, this is a discussion I was having earlier today. This is why I'm a really big fan of Talia instead of Spirit. They open up with Cam's Days, and now I'm pretty much just screwed. There is nothing I can do to get Daka out of the days. So they just clear the rest of our teams, and Daka's typically not going to be the weakest to die. And then yeah, they just land healing immunity on Daka. They take her down. The heal doesn't really matter. So like I said, Talia would have probably made this win. We would have immediately been able to cleanse the days and get things going. But instead, Gear 11 Inquisitors get their time to shine. And I will say, like, this was pretty satisfying to watch, because I know there's not a leadership here anymore, but this team is still kind of a pain in the butt. Like, Cam and Jedi and Anakin are a really nasty duo, and Inquisitors just don't care. They just beat the tar out of them. Even being Gear 11, they tank the hits, they get the control, we get the stuns. Yeah, I mean, they do really, really good work here. So we're able to take down Jedi and Anakin immediately. We were able to control Cam so that he didn't do dumb things. And actually have learned the Inquisitor's kits more or less using it because of the Galactic Challenges. I've been having to be able to know everything that they do. And yeah, we just completely tear them apart for full banners too. So not totally worthless. Pretty darn good. So that was the end of our ground battles. We did full clear them. And as ships aren't super impressive, we're going to have to go ahead and take our Malevolence versus Empire. This has never lost for us before. We should be fine regardless of comp or whatever. And yeah, we'll get there. So everything's going fine for the most part. They don't have tips order right, so the shuttle comes out first. We're able to call in Spy, immediately just get rid of the bomber. Don't want to deal with it. They also marked Vader. This is pretty normal, and now everything's pretty much fine. And I don't want to get dodged, so I throw my weak kit over there. And now there's one dodge. I would kind of like to count. So we use that. TIE Fighter Pilot dodges again without Foresight, which, you know, is annoying, but TIE Fighter Pilot does have increased evasion. So there's that. They annihilate someone. Now, TIE Fighter Pilot is still over there being annoying as Foresight, so I'm like, all right, let's hit the other character now. So 2 dodges from TIE Fighter Pilot. No Foresight right now. Dodged a hit. They bring in him. We go for another to land them. Dodged both hits. 5 dodges now. And every single time he's dodging, he's gaining turn mirror. That's 6, 7, 8. 8 dodges without having Foresight up. Just terrible. This is the worst RNG I have ever gotten on this fight. Again, I know he has an increased evasion, but 20% shouldn't be over 50% of the time. So, yep. And that essentially spells the end for us. I mean, this is super easy to clean up now, but first time that's ever lost because TIE Fighter probably got 8 dodges. Disgusting. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and take and finalize their mirror. Do not like this at all. I probably should have used Rebels here, but I was a little afraid that they would get perfect RNG and just sink us. I know the AI isn't very smart, but I've heard of sometimes when it just does everything right. And I also just didn't know what I was doing here. Like, I know how First Order works, but I've never done this exact matchup before. I didn't know exactly what was the right play. So we're just kind of going with it. And yeah, you'll see. So I can't decide if I want to kill Silencer or if I want to kill, what's his face, the shuttle. I tried to go for Silencer right out the get-go, to see if we can double, triple tap him, whatever, and see if we can kill him. I forget that the reinforcement ability does that, so we don't get to go, and then we just get nuked, and I'm like, all right, we've just lost the entire GAC. We're not going to full clear anymore because there's no way we're going to be able to get through this ship because I already have to use Raddus to clean up something else. Not going really good. We still do have access to what's-his-face. Sarge is still being really annoying. Silencer is about to eat it, and then, man, Ebonhawk. Ebonhawk comes and just saves the day. Gives turn meter, allows us to get the big shot and silencer. Now, the vast majority of their DPS is gone, and ours is only ramped up. So from here, it's pretty easy. We were able to get turn meter to silencer, column to assist, keep getting those big hits out, take everyone out, just one-shot their ship that comes in. This whole match in general was a little bit of a heart attack. And this, yeah, by the time I got to ships, I was like, I don't want to have to do this. So that went fine, and then we just used rebels to clean up Raddus. This is a very easy fight. Nothing really to say about it. You just rip the buffs off so quickly, and they can't do anything. So, and especially like I like the tank starting. I think she's much more annoying than this lineup. This lineup is almost a guaranteed kill on everyone. And we do make sure to get rid of the days off of Falcon so that she can still not assist. That's fine. I do get the assist there, and that's the kill. So now we just need to take down Poe. They do bring in the tank now, but I get the Rebels do really stinking well against Raddus. The Raddus likes to have like 16 buffs on at the same time, and Rebels just don't care. They just immediately clear them off. I'm considering bringing in casting here, but I'm pretty sure there's a mechanic I don't know that brings back the taunt. So I'm like, all right, if she's going to keep taunting, then I don't want casting. I want to control the field with Phoenix. I love Phoenix. So we take in Phoenix. We immediately get rid of the bomber because we get some nice assists. And now, the next turn we get, I can actually go ahead and call in the other Phoenix member. And now it's a 5v2 match. Take out Poe. And yeah, Resistance Pilot is not going to hold down the fort from here. Whether they have Jedi Consular or not doesn't matter. They're going to die. So we're able to take them down. That's very nice. And then for the first time ever, you might want to just close your eyes for this one. We use Raddus to clean something up, and I have no idea how this fleet works. I've never used, not only have I never used this capital ship, I have no idea what any of the members do, and my abilities on the capital ship aren't even upgraded because I'm saving for profundity. So this whole thing is done wrong. Like, I do the big hit here first. I was told you're supposed to spin first. So apparently that's something. I do like my starting lineup, though. I think that's been the hardest for me to deal with on offense. I don't know what these do. I thought one of them had a cleanse. I imagine that I should cleanse the pilot. I just don't know. I have my big hit now, but I'm pretty sure they have crit avoidance or defense up or something. I don't know why that was the right move. It probably wasn't. Resistance pilot does come in, and I mean, even with this pretty much just button mashing here, 4v2, we're going to win it, especially considering I don't think either of those characters were Empire, so they didn't really get a whole lot going for them. And now, yeah, we're just down to Sith Bomber, and we should be able to burn him down pretty darn easily. So we're able to get him down just here towards the end, and I won't actually be able to show the outcome of the battle because this is the last match, and we're not like 1 hour within it ending. So that being said, we did win, actually. Our opponent didn't even attack, not even to get his participation trophy. So I'm guessing something in his real life happened that didn't allow him to do it, which is fine. But at the same time, like, I am proud of the offense we pulled off with everything we had on defense. I mean, I had most of my best teams all on defense. We did, like I said, a little bit of inefficiency or unwise choices versus Malgus, but things we learned that we're getting the kit down more and more. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and as always, stay awesome.